Losing is never fun. And, I got to start by saying, I don't mind being wrong. It's kind of one of those things where, especially when you first get married, you realize you're rarely going to be right. And I felt that as I've moved along here, especially since I've started this podcast, I knew that there were just going to be some takes that weren't going to be right. Nobody bats 1,000. And the way that the game played out between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Cincinnati Bengals yesterday, that was the latest example. I think at the end of the day, there was a couple things I took away from it. Number one, man, the Cincinnati Bengals are still tough. Like there's games where there's a team you're watching, they just can't quite get over the hump. And that was the Raiders in that situation where, yes, they were always right there. Like there was even to the end of the game, and Derek Carr had a chance to seal to at least get him into overtime. And it's just they didn't have enough juice. They did not have enough firepower on offense to be able to get it done. And you can blame a lot of different things for that. You can blame the offensive line. You can blame receivers for not getting open. You can blame play calling. You can blame Derek Carr. But at the end of the day, the Raiders just didn't get it done. And I think if I'm looking at this, in a fair way, it's also at the same point, the Bengals were tough. Like the Bengals are a tough team, and we've been giving them a lot of love this year too. We've been giving love to every NFL team, but the Bengals, we knew they were going to put up points, and if the Raiders were going to have any chance, they had to score touchdowns and not field goals. Like that was it. They had to put up points to be able to stay in line, and it just didn't work out. I think moving forward, there's another thing that stood out for me, and the Raiders had Henry Ruggs III, who was balling out to start out the year, and obviously, again, prayers to everyone involved in that situation. But I do think the Raiders moving forward, if they can get some help, particularly for a number 2 wide receiver, not named Hunter Renfrow or Darren Waller, man, I think they could be tough. Like Henry Ruggs III was tough. And was a good player for him. But also, we've seen some good things from Deshaun Jackson, but I think it's safe to say that at this stage in their careers, Deshaun Jackson is not in this particular portion of his career, he's not the player that Henry Ruggs was playing at. But I do think you can still use him for, taking a shot and just trying something to stretch the field. But I think overall, the biggest thing that I took away from this is the Raiders are going to be back. Like, they were this close. They were Dwight Schrute trying to make a jump shot again in the office, trying to show Michael he deserves to be on the basketball team. Like, this close. Hopefully some of you get that Office reference. But at the end of the day, they were, 10, 14 yards away from sending that game into overtime and potentially going to win a playoff game for the first time in a while, from my recollection. And it's like, yes, the Bengals were tough. Their offense is going to put up a lot of points. Their defense has gotten a lot better. They deserve a lot of credit for yesterday's win. But again, the Raiders were right there. And I think moving forward, I don't think it's going to take much for the Raiders to be able to climb back up. Obviously they got to re-sign some guys this offseason. And hey, now it's offseason content, maybe draft content if you guys want it. But I think moving forward, there's a lot to be excited about for the Raiders. And I get it. I get some of the hesitancy to keep Derek Carr. I understand it. But from my angle, you got a guy like Derek Carr who's not going to take up a ton of the salary cap, which means you can use a lot of the other cap, the salary cap, to be able to build around him, perhaps maybe get him some respectable guard play, perhaps maybe get him a third wide receiver, or perhaps help shore up some of that secondary, and there's some, Trayvon Moehrig and also I think Jonathan Abram are both pretty respectable this year. But I mean, it never hurts to have another good corner. And it also never hurts to have an outside linebacker that can come off the edge. And I mean, honestly, a D tackle wouldn't hurt either. So I think there's a lot of different ways you can see the Raiders going to upgrade this offseason and finding ways to bolster that defense, because offensively, I think you're a couple guards away from being one of the best units in the NFL. Like, they were still what the Raiders, they were still top 15 at least in most categories. So get them some help in the offensive guard play, get upgrades in a couple spots on defense, and I think this Raiders team is going to be back. Like, I think they could be a top team in the AFC again. Is Derek Carr Patrick Mahomes? No. Is he Aaron Rodgers? No. But he is Derek Carr that is good enough to win a playoff game. He is Derek Carr that is good enough to elevate this team if he has a little bit of help. And that's why you're not paying him like the Vikings paid Kirk Cousins $35 to $45 million a year. You're paying him to be able to, take you guys and put you guys in a spot but also having a little bit of help along the way. And I think that's exactly what the Raiders can and should do moving forward. But let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome, and we love every single one of you. Check out our website at thesportsbriefpodcast.com. Also in the description down below, leave us a like and a follow. Leave us a comment. Also in the description down below, you guys will find our social media, so give us a follow there. If you have anything else you'd like us to listen to us on iTunes, you'll also find our iTunes URL in the description. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com, or put it in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let us know what you guys think about the Las Vegas Raiders, who will be back.